Hey guys, well today I want to do a video on a product that I got. As many of you know, if you've watched any of my videos or whatever, I'm a bit of a fire bug, you know, whether it's primitive fire, friction fire, ferro rods, whatever. I feel that fire in any environment, it's certainly way up there on your priority list, but in my area in the wintertime, it's pretty hard to be second to anything in my area. Fire is king. Okay, so I'm always on the lookout for products that are going to help me attain a fire that much faster, or even, to be honest with you, to give to people that may not be as into this stuff as I am. Like, for instance, my mom, who wants to keep some sort of emergency kit in her car. My son, who's living in Mississippi, who just now, they're saying they've got torrential downpours in Mississippi and people are flooding and stuff like that. Well, he's, you know, in a very moist, damp environment, obviously, if it's torrential downpours and tornadoes and stuff. And I've been harping at him to carry a stainless steel bottle to boil water in. But before you can boil water, you need to have a fire. Also, where my mom lives in the Pacific Northwest, things are damp all the time, especially in the wintertime, and it's always overcast like it is here right now. Everything is very damp. So the products that I want to show you, or the product that I want to show you right now, can help you attain a fire without needing to know or have the absolute most barest bone dry materials. There's a pheasant. If he was any closer, I think I'd be getting my shotgun, although I think season's over, so I probably wouldn't. But anyway, let me reset up the camera and I'll show you what I've got here. So what I wanted to show you here is Purefire Tactical's folding fire starter. And with this fire starter, you get a piece of fat wood. You get, for lack of a better term, like a sausage link of duct tape with ground up magnesium shavings here. And you get two strikers. One striker's here, and this is their folding model, and one striker is tucked inside here. And what's kind of neat about this is it's got a magnet right there, and it's actually a pretty darn strong magnet. So that's going to keep your striker right there. And on their website they say that this is, you know, the purest magnesium possible or whatever. Basically, to me, what that means is it's going to be a super fine shaving type magnesium. And then of course a ferro rod that I struck just a couple times just to make sure that it actually worked. I know that some people have said about products like this that the weak link here is this glue or this mating process between the magnesium and the ferro rod here. And I know some people have told me that on some of the cheaper camping fire, campfire ones, camping store ones like this, that these little ferro rods have come out. I personally have never experienced that. I have used them a bit, and I've never had that come loose. Can it come loose? Absolutely. I put antler handles on my ferro rods, and I had one come loose just the other day. So, is it the end of the world? Not for me, because, I mean, that's a decent size. Looks to me like it's a 5/16 ferro rod. I can use that with my bare hands, no problem. To me, like I was saying earlier, where this type of product would shine or would be very useful would be with someone who wants to put this in a fire kit, or basically anybody could use it, obviously. But where it really shines would be, like I was saying earlier, if I wanted to give it to my mom, my son, somebody who doesn't practice all the time. They've got themselves a surefire method of starting a fire right at their fingertips. And basically, to me, magnesium is great. It's a very hot fire, but it's very short-lived. So for me, it's a step above flash tinder. Flash tinder is extremely easy to light. It doesn't last very long, but it will enable you to light other materials on fire. That's what this magnesium is going to do for you. It's going to light up instantly, or very close to instantly, and enable you to light other materials on fire. Now, everybody knows what this fat wood is. It's just very, very resinous pine wood. But take a look at this piece of fat wood. Now, to someone like me, I can look at a piece of fat wood and there's varying degrees of quality of fat wood. This is some of the best I've seen. It's almost clear, and so I mean it's just packed full of resin. So right here, even in an inexperienced hands, in my opinion, you should be able to get a fire going. Even with minimal practice, I mean, just you should be able to get a fire going, no problem. I just looked on the website. I'm pretty sure, I have a terrible memory, so 25 bucks with free shipping right now. So when I look at something like that, I automatically deduct $5 for the shipping. If anybody's mailed anything lately, I think you can kind of agree. You can't hardly mail anything for less than $5 nowadays. So for 20 bucks, you get, you know, a pretty complete deal. Something you can tuck away. It's not going to go bad. None of this product's going to go bad or age with time, so long as you keep the ferro rod dry. It shouldn't be too hard. It's kind of a pack it away and forget it type thing. And as far as this extra striker, you can put it all in a bag or something like that. It fits on here semi-decent on the outside. Let's see if it fits in there. Yeah. Alright. Primarily what I wanted to do with this, because I do kind of like these fire starters, I wanted to test, I've got 3 of them here, some of them have been used harder than others, and I want to test the difference in magnesium with this one here and this ferro rod. Just kind of checking it out. This one I got wet. You can see you definitely don't want to get your ferro rods wet. One of them is this one's a Coleman. This one actually came with a Schrade knife that I purchased. And this ferro rod, you know, we'll have to use a different ferro rod maybe, because this one's pretty wasted. Maybe not. And then this one is a Kuglin's, which right away you can, well, well guys, that wasn't too hard now, was it? Alright, enough screwing around with that. Alright, let's set this up and do some testing. One other major complaint about these types of fire starters is how long it takes for you to get the magnesium collected in, you know, because you need at least, depending on your tinder and stuff of course, but you need at least a dime size piece. A nickel size would be much better. So I'm going to take a page out of Purefire Tactical's handbook here and use some squares of duct tape, and I'm going to scrape the magnesium try to use the same striker on everything and see how long it takes me to get. I'm going to use a dime size piece, or try to get a dime size piece of magnesium shavings in this piece of duct tape. And I've got my stopwatch. I'm going to start it now. Alright, I'm going to scrape some more and I'll get back with you. Okay, so what I did is I basically scraped each one of the square magnesium blocks for approximately a minute, maybe a little bit longer, just to try to keep the length of time the same. The amount of shavings ended up being pretty much the same. But anyway, now we're going to do the same thing with the Purefire Tactical one. Let me start my stopwatch. Okay. Now, would I use this for an everyday fire starter? No, I personally wouldn't, just because I don't really need all this magnesium and all this effort. But I live in a place where I have birch bark and things like that, and access to ample, okay, that's about a minute. I have ample flash tinder, so I don't really need to do this. And I have some more knowledge maybe than beginners and stuff do. Try to get that off of there. I've heard some people say that some of these magnesium blocks, the magnesium won't even burn. So I want to test that out as well with these 3 different types. All right, let's get to testing. Okay, the first one right over here. This is the Coleman. And since how I scraped this part off already, I'll go ahead and use that. Okay, so that looks like it burned. The added benefit of putting this on this duct tape too, if I were to process this duct tape correctly, is the duct tape would act as a flame extender. Not all that magnesium burned, but I didn't do a very good job of putting it in a pile either. It's kind of tough when it's on duct tape like that. That's all it wants to burn on that one. Okay. At least we know it burns. Now this is the Kugelans, and I will tell you, this one, their ferro rods they sell are the softer type, and the one that's in here is softer as well, which makes it hard to do that method with. Almost looked to me like that magnesium burned for a little bit longer. It's hard to tell though. I definitely don't like the softer ferro rod. It's hard to strike in such a small package. Jeez Louise. Yeah, on something like this, I don't like the soft ferro rod. Alright, I'm done screwing with that one. Soft ones are nice on bigger rods, but the smaller ones are a pain. Okay, this one came in a Schrade knife that I have, and this one's pretty messed up. I'm going to give that one a pass because I screwed that one was stored wet, so I'm going to use this ferro rod. That magnesium's burning pretty good. I might have even caught that duct tape on fire. There's a lot of variables in this, whether the magnesium was piled just right, stuff like that. So I mean, duct tape gets to be a gooey mess. I do think that these 2 magnesiums did burn better than that Coleman though. I've heard other people I think have problems with the Coleman. But anyway, so here's this one. One thing that helped this too, in my opinion, and it started to burn the duct tape. With this bigger one, you can get nice spirals with this bigger magnesium. It's almost like using a feather stick. That's actually still on fire, but like I said, a lot of it has to do with variables. But one of the variables that it did work in its favor, like I said, was the longer pieces. Okay, let's take a look at some of the other things that are included in this. Okay, so what I've done is I have opened this up, already. And I tore a piece off of the duct tape to act as a flame extender. And this whole thing is just full of magnesium shavings. I'm going to just add a couple, put it on that duct tape. The duct tape, in addition to the pine needles, are acting as a backstop for my fire, or fire lay. Alright. These are some big chunks of magnesium. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this really nice fat wood and just process a little bit more of it in, or just process a little bit of it in there into my fire lay, just to extend that fire a little bit longer so I can put my smalls on. Okay, I just got a little bit of the fat wood dust on there, some of the duct tape, and some of those magnesium shavings. It's definitely an aid in fire starting, even if you're not using 100% greatest technique. You know, you can kind of stand back and rain sparks down on it. Okay guys, there you go. I just thought I'd share that. Like I said, I'm always in the market for new fire starting devices. I know I was just at Duluth Pack and saw saw some fire starting stuff there and just had to get it. And I saw this and thought this was a pretty good idea. So this would be something you could put in your vehicle, in your boat, whatever. Just kind of put it in there and forget it. And I don't know, it worked pretty good for me. So check it out. I'm going to put the guy's link, put his information in the description of the video and stuff. Purefire Tactical. I'll just show it to you here real quick. This is his card. Alright guys, hope you liked the video. Take care.